But I just want to say, dude, like I actually love the format of your YouTube channel. I
Oh,
love the
thank you.
format of your reviews. I'll be honest with you. After I saw that Man of Steel video, which was the first video, that was my introduction to you and to your YouTube channel, man. I started going through them and started watching as many as I could. And your
Nice.
format, the way you articulate, the way you're not afraid to show your emotion, which we're going to discuss as we get into Man of Steel, dude. I commend you for that. I think it is amazing. And what I love about it is that it does not feel artificial. When I see the reaction, that is a real, genuine reaction. And I
Thank
think
you.
that is why it struck so many chords with that Man of Steel video, because what you gave us was real and genuine. So thank you, sir.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And it's hard. I will say it is hard. One, because we're always told boys don't cry, right? Two, it's just I think. Well, I'm gonna blame it on me being a Pisces. I don't know if you guys follow any signs, but Pisces are very emotional characters. Yeah. You a Pisces too up there?
No, I'm a Leo, but I know
close.
My ex, I have an ex who was a Pisces, so I know.
We're emotional. We're emotional creatures, and I will say this. I let out a lot of my movie. Like movies are my therapy. I'll just say that. Some people go to a therapist. Some people talk to somebody. Movies are my therapy. So sometimes we'll be in a chat and someone will request a song or something like that, or we'll play we'll listen to something or talk about something, and it'll just spark a damn memory for me. You know what I mean? Boys don't cry, but men can. There you go. There you go, Mama Bear. So that's what it is with me. And yeah, I've tried to hide a lot of things, but if it just comes out and I'm wearing my headphones and it's blaring. So if the score's hitting, if the dialogue's hitting and I feel it, I'm just going to let it out. I'm not going to, there's no way I can hold it in. I mean, you're going to be biting your lip and stuff. You can't hide it, right? It's hard to. So, and I think that's okay. I really do think that's okay, man. Yeah, you got to wear the glasses. I think that's okay though, because once again, especially as men, we're told to hold in our emotions or hide our emotions. And I don't think that's real and genuine, especially when you're looking for a channel like ours or reactionary channels and stuff like that. I think you got to be real and honest with and how it made you feel. And I remember at the end of my Man of Steel reaction, I said,
hang on, I don't mean to cut y'all, but you mentioned something very important. Y'all may not realize this, but there's a reason why we die earlier than women. That shit causes cancer. You dig? If you don't let out some sort of emotion, if you don't let that valve loose, okay, for whoever told you that we're not emotional creatures, no, we were taught not to be emotional creatures. It's not that we're not emotional creatures. So don't confuse the two. It's because we were taught not to be. We got emotions just like women do. Don't get it twisted. Okay. So that shit causes cancer. Okay. It causes health problems. So that is primarily the reason why we die earlier.
Yeah. One of the scenes that I found hits me the hardest, and I realized that when I was watching your reaction, it seemed to have hit you the hardest as well. Is the conversation between Clark and Jonathan, where Clark is learning that he's from another planet, and he drops that line where he says, "Can I just pretend to keep being your son?" Every single, and I've probably seen that movie 15, 20 times at least now, but every time I watch that movie, bro, that line brings tears to my eyes. And to see you have that exact same emotional reaction, it reaffirmed everything I believe about this movie and why it is so dear to our hearts. That scene there, because I know what it is for me, but what was it for you? What were you able to relate to that made you react the way you did when you saw that for the first time?
No, I talked about it a little bit. You know, I come from a family of divorce and stuff like that. And my dad wasn't the nicest guy, so I got daddy issues myself. So I think it was just that kind of tapped in. But it was also on the flip of the coin. You know, the young Clark is very unsure of himself, where he's very just confused at what's happening, and he doesn't want all this power, this responsibility, right? Can I just turn it off? Can I just be your son? And you know, he assures him that you are my son, even though you have a different dad. You know, you have different parents. You are still our child. You know, and I just liked that everything combined, and with the score and everything came together perfectly. And that's what I felt like. Once again, as the movie progressed, I was like, this is nothing like what I just watched in theaters a week ago. Like, this has no heart whatsoever. And I don't think this is what a lot of the fans want. I mean, maybe some newer generations want to see this
That's
side.
exactly who this film is for, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I don't need to see this film to know that it is, this generation is not looking to aspire to something that is different than them. They are looking for something that is adjacent to them. Ooh, this Superman has all of my problems too. Well, that really isn't Superman. Superman is not like us. That's the whole point. And that's why I like Man of Steel. Is Man of Steel was a film about responsibility. That was Jonathan Kent's film. That was Jonathan Kent through and through. That was the point of the film. It was about teaching him responsibility and teaching him, no, you are not like us. But then again, you have a choice to be whatever you want to be. You want to be a god and rule over everybody and cause total destruction? Or do you want to use that stuff to help people out? That's your choice. I can't make that choice for you. He was basically saying, yeah, at some point, you will have to pull your big boy pants up and say, what do I want to be? And that's what I loved about this film. And that's what this generation hates. They want to be coddled. They want to be, you know what I mean? They want that
Food fed.
They want to be spoon fed everything, and they want the just blurt out emotions and all stuff. That's not Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not him.
And speaking of Jonathan Kent, the other section of your reaction video, Flix, that I think resonates with our fandom so much is the Jonathan Kent death scene. Because you seem to understand the meaning behind that. You got it on your first watch. And for some reason, DC fans seem to be very split on that. A lot of people say it's not in Superman's character to allow his dad to make the sacrifice that he did. Everybody likes to criticize every little aspect of that particular scene, but you got it in your first watch. And that's, again, another reason why I thought it was so important to have you here. Because what did you say when you saw that?
Yeah, I knew that because he wanted it to be kept a secret. He even said it earlier in the movie. He goes, you know what? When the pod crashed to Earth, we expected FBI agents to come, and they never came. Mm-hmm. So they just continued life. Yet he still had his head on a swivel. Look, I mean, wouldn't anybody, if you were harboring this alien from another planet, like you would expect someone at some point in their life, like I'm not talking about just Lois Lane, but like someone coming knocking on your door saying, we need to look at that pod or something, you know what I mean?
And they taking it away. Exactly. And he also said
he held on to that.
Yeah, he also said when Clark was a little bit older and they were right before the tornado scene, they were in the car and they were arguing. He was like, look, you're not my dad. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm not your dad. We're not your parents. But we've been making this up as we go along.
Yeah.
What parent in reality would not say those exact same lines?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, we've been making this up. What do you expect? We've been doing the best that we can with what we got.
Yeah.
That's it.
Look at this. We could have built a new Krypton in this squalor, but you chose the humans over us. I exist only to protect Krypton. That is the sole purpose for which I was born. And now I have no people. My soul. That is what you have taken from me.